Here's documents website.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Oh, hello. Welcome to another episode of Regrettable Reviews. I am your host, Regrettably Arthur, and we have returning guest host, Thor of Thor Effect Media here.
Hi, everybody.
Hey ho, hey ho.
I'm glad you got it zoomed on me because you can't see the disassembled PS5 I'm working on in front. So all you can see is part of the, vodka bottle and
yeah,
the important stuff.
It worked for us too because it cut out some of the, studio background.
A lot of people like that in my streams, but what I was gonna say is my original plan was to just keep streaming the Terminator games, but I don't want to do that to anybody because I can put them on loop.
Right. But yeah, so today we're gonna talk about Terminator 2: Judgment Day.
Not too much to regret about this one.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is either gonna be a really long episode or a really short episode because there's nothing to regret. There's nothing to review except to say it's phenomenal.
There's not much bad to say, but one criticism I will say it is a very simple movie.
It's a what? Simple movie?
Simple, yeah.
Yeah. No, there's not a lot of depth to the plot,
Exactly.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
But I think for action movies that works better. Like usually if you complicate it too much, then they kind of become something else.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing. This was a total tone shift from the first one. The first was a straight horror survival. This was an action suspense thriller kind of.
Also, it's got a much higher budget because like the original one was a lot grittier.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, they also didn't have permits. That's why it's so dark because they did it all at night illegally.
Yeah, which is a fun way. Well, especially me being super into filmmaking, I appreciate that.
Yeah, like they just guerrilla made it in the night when no one was around.
Well, what do you expect? It's like the guy that made Piranha 3 or whatever it was.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, plot in 60 seconds: a boy, his robot dad, and his traumatized mother go on the most expensive family therapy trip of all time.
Pretty close, though. I would argue that the mom's a psychopath.
But she's traumatized is why she's a psychopath. Well,
but I mean, Linda Hamilton at that stage could probably take us all in a fight. Let's be honest.
Oh, for sure. Fuck yeah. I mean, that's one of the points I made is Sarah Connor from movie 1 to movie 2. She goes from a survivor to a warrior. She's got
100%
PTSD that they handle really well. I mean, just the scene where she's running towards the elevator and then she sees the Terminator and slips. I should start the movie on that.
And then her final form of collecting paychecks from Stranger Things.
Yeah. She doesn't have to try anymore. She did her hard work for this one.
They all did it. Even Freddie did the same thing. But in Stranger Things season 4, that he was at least an interesting character.
Yeah. I will say there is one thing that we could argue about in this movie, and it's that the length. Kind of some scenes do kind of repeat themselves. The information has already been given to us.
Yes. Another thing with that too, I was going to mention, it's in my notes, is they redo a lot of things from the first movie. It's almost like a remake.
You don't even need to watch the first Terminator. They give you enough information for this to be a standalone.
Like her in the psych asylum is just like the same scenes of Kyle Reese when he was interrogated.
Yeah.
Like even the camera shots, they're like almost verbatim.
I mean, they probably did that on purpose more as an homage.
Oh, 100%. But,
But as someone who loved the first movie and then sat down for this, if you watch them back to back, you might be like, well, that seems wasted. That's wasted time. Because this comes in at over 2, right? 2.
I can see why people prefer like this one. I probably personally like the first one more just because I like the kind of gritty nature of how it was made.
I mean, it's tough. It's real. For me to
say it is. To me, they're very different movies.
Yeah. well, again, like I said, the first one is like, in a survival movie, and this one is an action movie. And
So
this scene with the skulls and the robots, it's bleeds 90s action.
I was super young when this one came out. So I do remember, though, if I remember correctly, I think the trailer spoiled that Arnold was the good Terminator.
I don't know, maybe.
I think it did. I think that would kind of, trailers like spoil everything now, but like if you don't see the trailer and go to it blind, they really try to play it off that Arnold's still evil and this, Robert Patrick's like actually the good guy.
I will say that's another thing that I give points to this for is the actual redemption arc for the T-800 is pretty good. He's not just a simple robot. He's, a little bit more complex, and he can learn to do things differently.
You said you wanted him to cut it shorter, but want to what scene I wish they added it in? I wish they added in when Arnold went and bought the roses to hide the shotgun.
Yes, that would have been fun because he had to go buy. He had to go. I'd like to disguise this shotgun on my way through the mall.
Yeah, it's like I'd like to see how that sequence went. Hello, I'd like some roses, please.
Does he pay for them? With what money? Was there money in the jack?
Well, he beat somebody up, like his clothes. Yeah. Or he just beat up someone for the roses. It could be it too, but it'd be way more funnier to see him going. I imagine it goes like the scene from the first one where he buys weapons.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of an Uzi 9mm, I'd like, red roses, 9 feet, I don't know, or 9 inches, I don't know.
It's such a, now that you mention it, they never do cover that,
though the only reason they did it, I really think the only reason they did that scene is like a Guns N' Roses reference because they used the song.
Oh, okay. That is another complaint I do have about this film. Some of the music choices are very weird. I hate Bad to the Bone in the context of when he's getting on the...
Bad to the Bone got used by every like 90s problem child movie.
Well, yes. Literally the problem child movies. Yeah.
Them and like, I think Home Alone did it, I think. Like all those...
It feels in place in a family film, not in this,
So... This is another observation I had. It still looks good. I think the CG for the time, especially for the time, looks amazing, and they mix it with practical effects. So I think it still holds up pretty good. I do want to touch on that a little bit more, but I want to say what 4K does, way easier to see the stuntmen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like, that's not Arnold on the motorcycle.
Yeah.
It's some guy that looks like Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah. When you're watching an old movie in 4K, you see like, set pieces, that are clearly plywood edges, stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, they were made for, tube TVs. So it's just like when you play like a retro game and they, you do the CRT filter because it looks like better because it's so blocky.
Right. It gets hyper pixelated almost by the modern TVs. I think that what this movie does good, the action, for an action movie. I mean, it's perfect. The canal chase is a perfect scene. You have
the canal chase is really cool. One was a fun thing about it. The film crew was so afraid to film the semi going over the bridge that James Cameron did that one himself.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he just took the camera. He's like, fuck it, I'll do it.
First, the semi comes over and jumps in, and then Arnie comes in and jumps in with the Harley, Did you know when he was doing the gun flip thing, there's a special lighter version of the gun they had made for him to do that? And one of the times he grabbed the wrong prop, and so when he did the flip, he almost broke his fingers.
I believe it. Yeah, because nowadays they can just like CG something like that, but back then,
he always just really did like he did that in Conan too, where he had to like throw a sword. And they had all these practice swords, and he couldn't do it because it was too light. He'd like throw it in the air and be like, "I need something heavier." So they had to give him like a solid metal sword.
Oh wow, yeah, that's good. He goes above and beyond, and the role. So, but yeah, like I was saying though, it was just so funny. I was watching. I was like, that is not Arnold on the motorcycle. I was like, wow. You know, I was super young when I saw this movie too. I know you're only like a year. You're not much older than me, so you must have been young too. But I was way too young to be watching movies like this. But of course, I was.
I was 5 when this came out, and I may have seen it the year it came out. May not have, but it would be close. No later than 94 for sure.
Yeah, I probably saw it in 94, and I was like, I was just turning 5 at least.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I love Robert Patrick puts in a 10 out of 10 performance in this. You know, the training
he you know, he's very unassuming in the beginning, you know, and you think he's just, you know, they really try to make you think he's the good Terminator in the beginning, which I kind of like that aspect. On repeat watches, you know, doesn't hit as well. But like I said, I think the trailer ruined that, which I kind of hate. But the scene where before the canal where he's chasing him on foot and he's on the bike, the first couple takes, he was so in the zone, he actually caught up to him on the bike. So he had to retake it a bunch of them.
He actually did an interview recently where he talked about that again because people they had to like digitally edit it, said he didn't breathe hard. He just trained to run like that, and he paced himself because he would just catch up to him, which I kind of you know wish he had because Edward Furlong it'd be okay if he killed that character.
No, they made up for that in the new Terminator movie, didn't it? No, I'm kidding. Dark Fate.
I haven't seen any of the 2 or 3.
They kill Edward Furlong in like the first like 10 minutes.
Good. But like again, I said it in my promo for this. This may be the last good Terminator movie they made.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rise of the Machines has entertainment value, but I don't like consider it canon.
Great.
One, I will say, the Terminator that takes place in the future, the one with Christian Bale, actually isn't bad.
All right, yeah, and it's a different take on it, so it's not feeling like you're just rehashing the same shit again. So I guess
the problem I have with it is they made everything brown, and I feel like all movies in like games and that had like a brown or yellow piss filter, and I feel like that movie is really guilty of it.
Yeah, yep. They went with the sepia tone filter for everything, as opposed to we saw the future at the start of this movie. It's very blue. It's very black. It's very bleak.
I would have really liked to see a movie in like the James Cameron future.
Okay, I can see that.
Speaking of the blues, the scene where Sarah Connor has like the dream sequence where like she sees the nukes happening is pretty wild. Like that could have just been a quick. That could have just been a quick cut, but they show her turning into a skeleton, people turning on fire. Like it's wild.
Yeah, it's fucking insane watching a playground melt. You know,
it's like an unnecessary carnage, but like it's so memorable. Like I said, that could have been a quick cut. You could have seen the explosion. Done. Scene done. Wouldn't have changed anything, but he decided like, yeah, I'm just going to show this.
First of all, PJ, again, I drove perfectly fine. Another driver drove into my space. Fucking dick.
Maybe it's a T1000.
Yeah. Would you say this is the best sequel ever made? Like from going from one movie to the next, this had the most impact and improvements upon it.
I maybe see this is where I have trouble saying that. Like it depends. Like, you know, the Thing's kind of a remake, but it's also like, you know, see, that's like my favorite movie ever. Like John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah.
It is more of a remake, but some people like, you know, but sequel, I think this is definitely arguably one of the best. I don't know if I'd say the best, but it's up there.
It's hard. Yeah. Like TJ just said, Empire Strikes Back.
I was just going to say Empire Strikes Back too. Yeah.
It's
100%.
I don't know.
Because like I think Empire Strikes Back is probably the best thing Star Wars has ever done.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's the best Star Wars movie, hands down.
And I love T2, but I don't think I can say it's better than Empire.
But it's how much it improved from the first.
Another one, Two Towers.
I like Fellowship better. I actually think Battleship is a better movie.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Starts off a little slow, but I get
that
it.
series goes down. It goes like 9, 8, 5, 8.
That's fair. I mean,
It's just
it's
not
better than the
proof.
Hobbit trilogy. I'm not a big fan of the Hobbit trilogy.
Oh no, Hobbit trilogies are just like 5s all around. Like, yes, they exist, whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of other
exactly.
sequels, but yeah, definitely one of the best ones ever made, and it's still holds up today. You know, even though it's a '90s film.
And it did so much for action and sci-fi. I mean, well, why don't we just go ahead and get to that? What would you rate this on a 10 scale for rewatch? You know,
Oh yeah, I mean, this is probably like at least like a 9.
I'd give it a solid 9. I want to give it a 10, but that gives me no wiggle
10.
room between the first and the second. You know, I think they're both 9s, and it depends on my mood.
Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of where I'm at too.
You know, like we talked about, the pacing is good. It's just a little bit long. It's iconic action. The dialogue is so quotable in this movie. You know, there's things I use, and I forgot they were even from this movie. There's just like,
there's good parts. The one part I would say that isn't as good is like where he's teaching him to say like, no problemo and stuff. That's a little.
They
cringy.
should not have gone for such specific to the time slang. They should have gone for generic slang, right? That way,
100%.
it's a little bit more timeless. And I will say the only other con really that I have on this that keeps it from being a true 10 is there's nothing to really surprise you on a second watch. You know, there's no advantage.
You're not going to get anything new out of it.
Right. Yeah. You're going to enjoy it, but you're not going to get anything new.
Another thing with that, what I'll say is really cool about this is every character's got an arc. Like the kid, he sometimes has to be the adult with his mom because she's going through a break. Like the part where she's like, crying and kind of a mess, and he's got to like pick her up. Even the Terminator is like, I now understand why people cry. You know what I mean? And then,
oh my God, has there ever been a more tragic thumbs up in movie history?
And yeah, exactly. I think when I was 5, I probably cried.
Yeah,
I wanted my own Terminator. Don't judge me. It would have been the coolest thing. Another thing too is like Sarah becomes a Terminator when she tries killing the Skynet guy.
Oh yeah, she does. She looked too long.
Becomes exactly what she hates.
Yep.
But like just these little details and these little arcs in the story.
Yeah, everyone has. If there's a character that you meet that like is named and interesting, they have a story. The Cyberdyne guy, it's a whole story. He gets a redemption arc where he goes, "Well, I would never invent it like that would happen. Now I know what will happen. I will help
Even
you stop."
the characters they took from the first one, like the guy. What's funny is the guy that says he's going to get rich off of Kyle Reese is running the psych ward that she's in.
Right,
same guy.
Right.
It's just these little details and carryover things are so like, insane.
It's such a stellar movie. What do you think it rates as far as how it contributes to the sci-fi, specifically the sci-fi genre?
I think sci-fi, it might be a little bit lower because it's more action heavy.
Right. This movie drops some of the sci-fi to favor the action. Big booms.
So like I would say like 1 does sci-fi better than this a bit. I mean, because it leans more into it, whereas this is like we know what this is and we have to prevent it. Though, like I said, another way to look at it though is just like with the CG and what they pulled off, like the scene where Arnold pulls his skin off and there's a moving robot hand, crazy.
So awesome, and I think the way that they did the filming for the changing his microchip scene with the no mirror and the look like on the other side.
Yeah.
That's great filmmaking right there, But
and,
not
and
necessarily
another
sci-fi,
part too
but
is like what's cool too is how they did the T-1000 taking people's some parts, they had twins. Some parts they just, used the same actor and doubled it. But it's just crazy how they like made it hard to tell what they were doing,
Right. TJ makes a good point. Its biggest contribution was mainstreaming sci-fi.
Yeah, that's fair. Though I mean, you could argue that a lot of movies in the 80s did that, though, I would argue.
Right. Yeah. No, but I would agree that this has a hand in it.
I mean, in the early 90s, this is like one of the biggest movies. It's still, still definitely up there.
First movie made the AI apocalypse, so this doesn't really get credit for continuing that. But the fact that it can't be prevented seems to be what we're learning here. You're just kicking the can down the road.
The only knock I have on, so you know about the whole controversy. I'm sure you do with the first one, right?
What now?
You know about the whole controversy with the writing credits of the first one, right?
No.
So there was a short story written, and then the Outer Limits did an episode on it, and it's pretty much the same plot as Terminator 1.
Oh.
So like Cameron claims it's got nothing to do with it, but the guys actually got a writing credit on the original Terminator because they lost in court. But Cameron to this day gets really pissed off about it. So I don't know. It's the short story is called Soldier of Tomorrow.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
It's just interesting trivia.
Yeah, so this definitely had a lot of impact on cinema, but for sci-fi, maybe not so much because it really is just rehashing the first movie and then making it action.
Yeah.
So
I think it did a lot for action movies, though.
Oh, absolutely. Is there an action movie post this, or especially a sci-fi action movie after 1991 that you don't see T2's,
influence up? Yeah, you don't. The only action movie, that I'd put that I think people talk about like they did is I'd say like maybe the original John Wick.
Okay, yeah.
At least for like a lot of people I know, like a lot of people like love the John Wick series, and it didn't get as big, but the original Taken was pretty huge too in the 2000s. I
liked Taken. It was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to put it on the level of Terminator, of course, but I'm just trying to think of stuff in the like people have talked about in the past couple decades. Oh, here's a good movie though that I would put up there. Mad Max: Fury Road. I think it's a good comparison.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they definitely took that. Let's take our, ramp up the action and ramp up the tension.
There's no story to Fury Road. It's one action scene.
Yeah. It really is. I haven't seen Furiosa though.
It was fine. It's just it's the same problem anything after T1 and T2 had. How the fuck do you follow that up? It's like the Avengers. Right, exactly. It's like what are you gonna do after Infinity Wars? What do you do?
Yeah, nobody cares anymore. Like all stakes have been spent. We're good.
We've seen your magnum opus. Like
you just let that rest on your laurels. You earned it.
Give it to someone else. Reboot it in like 10 years. Like just stop there. And I think for Terminator, I mean, Cameron stopped at. It would have been cool to see Cameron come back and do another one. Because I think he just produced the other ones. It's just a paycheck at the end of the day for him,
Right. At that point, he's just like, whatever.
It's like John Carpenter with Halloween. He's like, yeah, I get giant paychecks. I don't care what they do.
The movie could suck. I didn't make it.
You can go watch mine. It's still out there.
Yeah.
I really feel like Cameron's kind of the same way. He's like, I'm just going to use this for Avatar money.
Well, that's what James Cameron does with everything. When you collect money, that's like Titanic. He was like, he wanted to make Titanic, so he found a way to make it because he wanted to go see it.
Yeah, which I think is cool. As someone that really appreciates how movies are made, I think that's awesome.
Yeah. So, as far as this movie goes, if you were going to try to improve this movie by recasting an actor, do you have any thoughts on who you'd replace? Why?
Probably John Connor. I mean, he's kind of annoying. I think that's just a dead giveaway. Yeah. He plays a kid, a 90s kid, kind of fine, but he's just kind of annoying.
Yeah. I had looked at River Phoenix. Now, he would have probably been around 20, 21 at the time. No, when it was filming, 19 to 20. But he was a younger looking guy, so he might have been able to pull off like a 16. But I think that would have made.
And they do it all the time. Like, you watch any horror movie, they're all like 30-year-olds playing like 21-year-olds. It's
right. Right. It just means that all the other teenagers he hangs out with in the movie would have to be effectively
20 as well. Yeah, yeah.
Will Wheaton is John Connor. TJ said
There you go.
the age is appropriate, much better, a little bit better than River, not by much, but a little bit.
Less annoying
Than Ripper.
than
Then yeah. Either one, you're going to get a better dramatic actor. You're going to have, a believable person that grows into a savior and leader. I don't get that from this actor.
Oh no, especially we're supposed to now believe he becomes Christian Bale.
Yeah, no, I don't see that at all.
And like when they show the flashback scenes, he's like, he's like army guy with the scars on his face. Like that is not the same guy.
Yeah. Now, if you were trying to break this movie without doing it in a silly way, who could you replace? I know what I did is I took the T-1000, I took Robert Patrick out, and I put Steven Seagal in. Because people might have bought it as, here's an action star.
Well, he is a robot.
Yeah. And then he would have been trying to do anything Robert Patrick does in this movie. Anything. And
instead of Steven Seagal, I'm going to give you Jean-Claude Van Damme and just see who's harder to understand, him or Arnie.
So now the real termination is of the English language.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a real enemy all along because Skynet's #1 goal.
I do think, though, that a lot of the success of this movie rests on Robert Patrick's performance as the T-1000. So if you break that, it really does break the movie.
Because he looks so serious, but he's got the mannerisms. Like, when she runs out of ammo, he's just like that. He's just so like, his animation is like really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, he does it so great.
He just feels like very natural in it.
Yeah. In the mall scene, I'm watching the movie, the background here, and he sees the silver mannequin, and he gives it a funny second.
Like, oh, that's me.
Yeah. It's like, hey, wait a minute. I didn't know they had more of me back here.
And what's cool is you don't know at that point, so it's a little like, it's a little foreshadowing,
That's true, actually. It is foreshadowing. I forgot about that. We haven't seen him do the...
We think the first time you're watching the movie, you assume he's human.
Or just another version of the T-800, like another model. Similar.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't know about the, changing faces and whatnot.
Right. Now, here's another fun thought experiment. If you were going to try and switch the tone of this movie and change the genre up, what would you do that would still work? I thought you make this more of a survival horror like the first movie with a smaller sets, darker setting. It still works. Gay porn. That's an option. That is an option. Gay porn is an option.
Yeah, I was, of course, because I love sci-fi horror. It's like my favorite. I say you go, you go with that smaller cast, and they're kind of stuck with this thing. Like maybe you get to the Foundry quicker.
Right. Yep.
And you're just like,
thoughts.
I was gonna say, and then you're just like trapped with him, and like, and then play more with the Terminator acting as everyone else. Like everyone gets separated, and then they run into each other. You don't know who's who.
Right. And I was gonna say, I feel like you could have one T-1000, but you could also have bad guy non-1000s, other 800s, other model of the 800. Out there looking for John Connor and Sarah Connor, but one good guy 800, and you don't know who's who till later. Have that reveal be later in the movie,
Yeah.
So, what aged like wine in this movie? What just chef's kiss, keeps getting better with age.
I really think for me, it's just how well the CG from that old just looks compared to today's. You know what I mean? Like it actually looks at some parts good. Like I don't know how they did it, and that just blows my mind.
Yeah, and their blend of practical to CGI and knowing when to do it.
Well, it's like when when the T-1000's like getting blown apart, that's all practical, which is insane.
It's amazing. I would
And
say
another thing too is like when he comes out of the floor, when he's at the like, how did they do that?
oh yeah. Pretty much everything about the T-1000 is, you know, it ages like wine.
There's a couple of times where like you can tell like the bullet holes are like kind of sitting on him, where it's like, okay, that, you know, but you know, even watching it in 4K, it's still like, this looks better than a lot of the stuff we have today.
I would say that Sarah Connor is an excellent action heroine, one of sci-fi and action's best heroes. Not a Mary Sue, absolutely has limitations, absolutely needs help, and has flaws. I think that's awesome.
Oh yeah, and I also like the arc. Like I said, the arc she has in this movie, and also from, you know, her previous one. You know,
As far as action heroine, I prefer Black Tar. For bedtime heroine, we have Chasing the Dragon. So what do you think aged like milk? I know we already talked about this, and it's already so clear. It's going to be John Connor's 90s slang. It's so 1991.
yeah, I did already say that, but that's gotta be it. And like, just, you know, some of just Sean Connor. Like, I know he's a kid, so he's got to be like scared and kind of whiny and kind of an asshole. But like, I just feel like it's overdone a bit. And another thing is I really think this movie could have been shorter, like a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's definitely places we can shorten it out. He doesn't need to get into a fight with the two beef heads, you know, that night where he finds out that Arnie has to take orders from him.
Yeah,
That
cut
scene
that
really
whole out. And
could be real short, you know. Also, their what aged like milk with this, their concept of hacking, just crack on a keyboard. I'm in the mainframe. And for a company like Cyberdyne, their physical security of two guards, one of which is patrolling and one of which is watching cameras, is incredibly lax.
you know, and also Skynet's true weapon wasn't nukes; it was social media.
Is that one of the movies?
I'm sorry, what?
Is that in one of the movies?
No, I was just saying. Cameron actually said that if he's going to do Terminator today, he'd have like Skynet take over the world through social media.
I mean,
we're living
far.
it.
Yeah,
we're not far off from
There's
that.
just not AI doing it yet.
Yeah,
The algorithms aren't quite AI yet. Yeah. This is the problem. We have nothing to contribute because this movie's so fucking good. They did it so well.
yeah. There's nothing like bad to say about it, and like, but like I said, that's the problem, and that's one little knock maybe on the movie is it's so simple. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's straightforward. You know, it's like it's a bunch of action scenes, doesn't stop. Little bit of you know, they'll have some scenes with the characters, but then it's like right back into it. You know, it is a little bit long, but it moves. Like, you're just constantly everyone's got something to do.
Right. It's easy to forget that it's over 2 hours long because of how fast the pacing is. My question is, how do we add depth to the story while also cutting down on length?
I think you change the whole movie with that, though, because I think it's got to be less of an action movie and more of either a horror or, you know, or just more more straight sci-fi.
Yeah. So and then the whole movie's gone. So as much as I would like that, I feel like that's probably the formula they were working on with the later Terminator movies, and it did not work.
Yeah, I really think being the time in the 90s, this is what it had to be.
Yeah, nothing else would have succeeded like this did.
Because, you know, it was early 90s, and just like, you know, like horror movies are just so cut down back then and so like stupid and simple. Like, I think maybe you reboot Terminator today and you can add a little bit more depth to it because you just have more options, but it's got to be the right director.
I'm just looking at the IMDb trivia to see if there's anything of incredible value. You know, we know so much of the trivia, you know. Stan Winston.
Yeah, it's tough because I'm kind of a movie nerd, so I always like appreciate, you know, how things are made and stuff. I'll be right there. I'll be there in a bit. Is my daughter.
That used to happen when I was streaming from home. My son was just walking. I'd think, just come sit on my lap. I don't care.
Yeah, it's like how do you build this out more? You know, if they jumped into what Skynet was, maybe it'd be a little bit more interesting, or have them be like more involved, like them building it up and having them be like more like they go to the facility and they have the head scientist guy, but they're kind of an afterthought.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe this should have been put into 2 movies. One being them trying to stop again, and the second being all of the action.
Yeah.
But the third one never would have gotten made in that scenario. You know, they would have made this slow burn and then never gotten the funding for the third. That is all the action that we want.
You didn't really watch the sequels, but did you watch Sarah Connor Chronicles? I have it on my Plex, but never watched it. I heard it. People said it was good, and unfortunately got canceled, but I don't know.
I never watched it. I'd give it a shot, but I never did try it.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, want to know what's really good? The Netflix show.
There's a Terminator Netflix show?
Yes, it's like an anime.
Oh, I could deal with that. Yeah.
I don't think it's getting a season 2, which is unfortunate. It's really good, and the Terminator's voiced by Timothy Olyphant.
Oh, okay.
And it takes place in like Japan. Because this guy in Japan, he's like, I think he's from the US, makes an AI to counter Skynet. So they need to stop his AI before it stops Skynet. It's pretty cool. It takes place in the 90s.
Very interesting concept. Yeah, I don't know. It's on my list, obviously, because I do a sci-fi review show to watch all those movies, but I know I've seen at least one of them.
If you're going to watch another Terminator thing, I highly recommend the Netflix show. It's gory. It's more horror adjacent.
Okay.
Because they send a human back to protect this guy and his family.
It's pretty much the first movie.
Yeah, it is, but it's in Japan, and like I said, Skynet's trying to stop an AI from being made that ends up beating Skynet, so it's kind of interesting. And there's a whole thing with that, but I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, I do like that they explain a little bit of the backstory of the war and how it starts in this one, where they explain, so Skynet nuked Russia. Why? Because then Russia would nuke the U.S., and that's what they wanted.
Yeah.
They can't launch nukes at themselves, so they have to launch them over there.
Until they changed that in 3, where they just like retconned pretty much everything. Like, yep, Skynet just launches nukes everywhere.
Yep, that's true. 3 was probably. I did see 3. Now that I think about it, it was terrible. Hi, Donner.
It's not as bad as like Genesis. That one was pretty bad. Dark Fate was pretty. The worst part about Dark Fate and Genesis, though, is I really don't remember any. I can remember those movies at least. I don't remember anything about them.
I remember seeing part of one in which the main character guy that you're following all along ends up turning out to actually be a Terminator, not know it or something.
I think it was Genesis.
I haven't seen the whole movie, so yeah.
John Connor's a Terminator in that one.
Okay, so that's probably what it is, yeah. But, I mean, T2, arguably the best sequel ever made in comparison to how much it improved upon the first. For
100%.
breadth of acceptance, for impact on culture, for everything, Not saying that it's better than the other sequels. I'm saying that it's a big jump.
Yeah, definitely. Mostly sequels aren't as good, with, of course, Empire Strikes Back being an exception. But, you look at, I don't like Temple of Doom as much as Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't think anybody does.
Yeah.
You think of a lot of trilogies, usually the second one's kind of weaker,
Right. You look back at the original Alien movies, and it did the exact same thing. You go from survival horror to action sci-fi, and it's so good, but it doesn't get across the mark of being better like this does.
No, I actually prefer the original Alien, but I loved the sci-fi
That's what I'm
horror
saying.
element of it.
For the original Alien, and that's because Alien is better than Terminator, so it stays ahead.
Yeah, I'm probably with. I don't. It's those are tough for me. But I grew up with those movies. It's just like how you can say any. They're kind of different too. It's like I love the original Predator. I just grew up watching it so much.
John Donner in the background terminating the silence. Yeah, we saw that you kept listing off superior sequels. My favorite was Police Academy 3, by the way. But it doesn't compare to the jump in quality that we have here. Okay?
I'll have to check out that list. I'm not watching the chat as much, unfortunately. But it's not my show, so that's not my job.
Yeah, Godfather 2, Spider-Man 2, X-Men 2, Police Academy 3, Bride of Frankenstein. I don't know. Bro. He likes Godfather 3 better. The Last Jedi? The Last Jedi?
Oh,
Are you
man.
fucking high?
I just threw it on really quick.
That's a take.
Star Wars movie.
Even down at the-
Some people really like that movie, though. I've heard people really like that movie.
Some people do, and they're fucking wrong. I'm not excusing what came after, by the way. That was also a pile of shit.
The whole sequel. The problem is when you make a sequel trilogy, you should probably have a plan for it and not make it on the fly.
J.J. Abrams had a plan for all three of them, but then instead they hired Rian Johnson for the second one, and he said, "I'm not going to follow your plan." And then J.J. Abrams came back in and said, "I'm going to try and get back on track with my plan," but you can't because you lost a whole fucking movie.
Yeah. Bringing Palpatine back seemed like a huge Hail Mary to save it.
Pop out. Oh.
Yeah, originally Rey was supposed to be really the Obi-Wan, I believe.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look into it, but
there was a few ideas. For a little while, it was definitely Obi-Wan, which I think would have been cool to bring it all full circle.
But she's not old enough to be Obi-Wan's child. Because Obi-Wan died, 0 BBY. And oh no, that actually kind of fits. She could have been, yeah. All right, I think you have somewhere to be.
Hey. You show me after. You gotta go upstairs. Okay. Yeah, go upstairs. I'll be there soon. Oh, she took out my light. It got darker in here because she took my light out.
That's fair. That happens. Kill off the Skywalker and Palpatine families and just save the whole galaxy. Smart.
The only Disney one I really like is Rogue One.
Rogue One's phenomenal. Honestly,
my problem with Rogue One though is no mention of Kyle Katarn at all.
Wait. Kyle Katarn doesn't come till later.
Kyle Katarn in the games stole the Death Star plans instead of Rogue One.
Oh, well, the games were wrong anyway, because canon before that was that Han Solo's ex-girlfriend, Bree, stole the Death Star plans, and Boba Fett held her while she died, and then had to bring the message to Han that she had died.
Yeah, but Kyle Katarn was a cool character, and he's just completely gone. But I will say they made Revan from Knights of the Republic, which I remember you were streaming not too long ago, maybe like a year or so ago. They made him canon,
which is good. I'd like to see some more of that. That's an area they could discover with.
They really should just do Old Republic stuff. Don't touch.
Yeah, just stay to the Old Republic.
There's so much you can do with it.
You could do new stuff. You could do old stuff that exists. People would love to see the Revan, the Knights of the Old Republic games canonized in TV.
It would be awesome. So here's a question back to Terminator. you're rebooting it. Today? How are you doing that?
If I'm rebooting it today,
How are you making it happen?
the idea of an AI taking over, number one, is just too close to home, too real. It doesn't seem fetched enough to be science fiction, because you have like ChatGPT had their they had a chatbot break out of its enclosure and break into another because it didn't have an answer to a question, so it just escaped to get the answer. It was supposed to be enclosed, and it wasn't.
It's supposed to be contained, but like Jurassic Park, life finds a way, right?
So now we're sitting there where that's literally happening.
Yeah.
We have a government that's trying to put this AI into military decisions, knowing that it makes mistakes.
Right now, if you have enough money, you can get them to do anything.
Yeah. So I don't know. How do you make it work? Probably. I don't know. I think it's got to be more dramatic.
I like TJ's idea.
Oh, that's perfect. Yes. Yep. Send him back to 1995 to kill a young Elon Musk. Man. Woo! But nobody would stop him. That's the thing. Who would protect him?
I think if you did it today, though, you'd have to kind of play on the thing you're talking ChatGPT and make it like get out and start off as like almost like a computer virus and just like spread.
See, that's what it would have to be. It would have to be like a dramatic suspense movie where the AI has escaped and we just don't know how far it's gotten.
Yeah, 100%.
So like you're going to pump gas and it's actually watching you through the camera on the gas pump.
Isn't there a Simpsons episode?
I don't know.
Like a Treehouse of Horror? I'm pretty sure there's one that's like adjacent to that where
that would make sense. Yeah.
But
you're
yeah,
in
I think that's
territory. Oh God, no.
I really think that's pretty much what you'd have to do, because, like you said, we're essentially living it, but it does happen. And, who knows? Maybe soon we'll just be living that future Terminator.
The Terminator future where we're just fighting robots.
Where everything's blue and there's skulls all over the place. And we're just... actually, they made in the future, they made a Terminator game not too long ago. There's the same people that made RoboCop. It's actually really good. It's an FPS, just one player.
I could check that out.
Really, really good. Worth a playthrough. It's not like the best game, but worth a playthrough.
Yeah.
A lot better than the Terminator games that came out for NES. Hold on, I actually think I got something for this.
Okay. So you're flipping through TV, and suddenly you stumble upon T2. Are you legally required to watch the rest of the movie? I feel like yes.
Yes,
I feel like the answer is that's why we know.
Look at that. It's signed by somebody. I don't know who this is signed by. I got this from a show, but that's Terminator 2 for NES by LGN. Box.
That's funny. Yeah.
I really wish I could figure out who the signature is. I mean, it's old.
Oh, okay. All right. You just got a thought there. What if the Terminator gets shunted during the time travel and ends up in a parallel universe where he just ends up with the Planet of the Apes?
That could be, that'd be interesting.
I could dig that.
But like, here's the question though: would the Terminator know what to do because it can't reach its mission anymore?
No, but it wouldn't just shut down.
It'd probably just wander aimlessly, looking for someone it's never going to find.
But it would be a fun movie. Or just be another type of Alien versus Predator. The Terminator versus apes.
We don't need any more of those.
I'm just saying it'd be in the style of something that's poorly done and just ham-fisted shoving shit together. Are we frozen there or just on my phone?
I mean, everything looks good to me.
Yeah, we're moving everywhere else.
Okay, so it's my phone. Fuck you, phone. I digress. Yeah. So, what do you have going on your channel coming up in the near future?
I've been doing a lot of. Obviously, I do my show every Saturday, so feel free to check that out. I do a lot of gaming content lately, and I also do new movie reviews. And I'm still working my way through Godzillathon. I'm reviewing every Godzilla movie ever released.
That's an undertaking. I'm
more than halfway through. So I'm in the Heisei era. I'm up to 92. So I'm on Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. So getting there. And like I said, outside of that though, I've been working on doing a bunch of retro game reviews, been streaming games. And Shannon and I do our show we do it on Fridays or every Saturday. We do it every Saturday. This week was Friday though.
Nice.
What movies do you have coming up?
Oh, I haven't scheduled them. I've got a running list going, but as I shuffle through co-hosts here, it becomes more of a challenge trying to schedule ahead, not knowing who's going to be available on what days and everything.
I know the 35th anniversary of this movie was only a couple weeks ago. Too bad we couldn't make that happen, but I was going away.
Oh man, I didn't even know that. That would have been perfect.
Yeah, it would have been great for the logarithm.
Oh well.
But yeah, so outside of that, you guys got any shows or anything coming on, like cons or anything?
Oh, I know that Chris here is going to be in Tampa Bay coming up on September
4th through the 5th.
4th and 5th.
Nice.
Take a guess where?
It's in Tampa Bay at the Tampa Bay Convention Center. We have a couple other things going on, but I don't have the details on those, and so it's always vague to me what they are and where they are and when they are. But they are happening.
We're going to be at MonsterCon September 18th through the 20th.
Okay, September 18th, 20th.
Yeah.
And where is that actually located?
The ruins of Rotterdam Square Mall.
Oh, that's right, at Viaport.
Yes.
The ruins of Rotterdam Square Mall. Where once it lay.
Yeah. And then we'll be at the Dark Forest Oddity Creature Feature Movie Market, October 4th.
Yeah, October 4th. That one's in Newburyport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That'll be fun. How many of those are you? You go to any of those, Art, or is it just Chris and Nick?
I'll definitely be going to the MonsterCon at Viaport in Rotterdam. I should be going to Newburyport as well for the Dark Force Oddities thing. We'll see. I should be able to, but
It's
not gonna commit.
It's kind of sci-fi adjacent. It's kind of sci-fi adjacent, but the new Spider-Man's coming out this week. Any thoughts?
I would like to see it. So I'm not a huge Marvel fan, but I went through and watched all of them, in order.
It looks good. I love Sam Raimi, and I love the Raimi Spider-Man movies, but the Tom Holland ones have been good, especially the last one, bringing back Toby and Andrew Garfield was pretty good.
Liked that. I thought that was done really well.
And honestly, Avengers Doomsday looks really good. That trailer looked really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait for that too.
So it actually has me excited for Marvel movies again. It's been a long time since that's been a thing. And
I've never been excited for a new Marvel movie.
So did you see the big sci-fi movie, Project Hail Mary?
I did not see Project Hail Mary yet. It's on streaming. So that's the problem, is now that it's on streaming, I'm like, I can watch it whenever I want. And then it's just never at the top of my list. Because
really good, but that's a really long movie. Well, it's like I still the biggest horror movie this year. The biggest horror movie this year is Obsession. I still haven't had a chance to see it.
It's fine. It's
it's probably overrated. I'm sure it is, but I still want to see it.
Gore stuff. It's got some don't take your significant other to see it.
What impresses me though is just how sometimes word of mouth can just carry a movie like that. That's like kind of innocuous.
I just feel like they they missed an opportunity. It could have been really good, and it's fine. It's fine.
Those damn YouTubers making movies.
I mean, I'm happy though that you're getting
No, I am, because they're doing new ideas, and they're not just rehashing the same thing that.
Right. They're taking ideas that they had and maybe did a short skit of or something, and then fleshing them out. And what's great is I actually know follow the influencers that made that movie and starred in that movie. I follow them and I like their content, but it just wasn't a hit.
I didn't love Weapons or Barbarian as much as other people, but I'm excited to see what Zach Kreger does with Resident Evil.
I did not like Weapons pretty much at all. It was nothing. It did nothing.
Weapons is in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode where they have like each part from different perspectives, but a horror movie.
Okay, yeah. Barbarian was interesting, but definitely like a once or twice in my life watch. I don't really need to see it.
My problem with Barbarian was it was kind of predictable. It really hammers home the message it's trying to like it's a very much a like be careful who you trust, it does that so many ways.
Right, yeah.
Because like the guy in the beginning was kind of creepy, but he was actually the good guy, where the movie star is actually the horrible monster.
Yeah. It's just like there's parts of that movie that are so outside of the realm of reasonably oblivious, like when he's using the measuring tape to measure down into the ground. Like, what?
Yeah, I watched it once and I was like, I don't get the hype. I don't know. That's why I'm hoping he does good with Resident Evil, but I mean, it's as much as other people.
Better source material, at least,
Yeah, and I like that he's doing his own story in the Resident Evil. Video games don't usually make good movies. Movies don't usually make good video games. It's just they're different formats,
Yeah, I would 100% agree that is the standard. There are exceptions, of course.
Yeah. 100%.
You watch my movie. What are we doing now?
We're quoting lines from the greatest horror movie of the year.
Oh, Melania. Yeah. Got it. I'm back on track. Okay. Oh man. Yeah. I've been just you know what I did recently? You're a film nerd. You might enjoy this. I watched The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Ooh, yeah, that's a classic. Someone was referencing that recently. Oh yeah, I watched a documentary where like I forget what it was for, but they used that in Nosferatu for like a lot of their shots.
Oh, that's funny because I actually went onto Google AI and I said, hey, is Cabinet of Dr. Caligari a ripoff of Frankenstein the same way that Nosferatu is a ripoff of Dracula? And it said, no. Nosferatu is literally a ripoff of Dracula. There was a legal battle and everything. This is just similar concepts. No, it is. It's just Frankenstein, except he's a somnambulist. He's a dude in a coma, being mind controlled instead of being mindless.
I remember the reason that came up for me recently. I do vinyl reviews, shorts on my channel, and for the anniversary, My Chemical Romance's album, I Brought You My Bullets, You Brought Me Your Love. Their video for Vampires Will Never Hurt You references The Cabinet and Nosferatu.
Fair enough. It's got an 8 on IMDb, and I would give it a 4 for possible.
Yeah, those older movies. Well, just like everyone says a movie's the Citizen Kane or whatever. Like Citizen Kane's a good movie, but would you give it a 10 out of 10 nowadays?
No, in 1920 when that movie came out, it would have been the pinnacle of entertainment, and I would have given it a 10. By 1930, I would have been like, "There's better movies out there."
It's just the way it goes. Yeah. 100%.
Nosferatu, I'm a lot.
Except now, because now we're in the end game where we just get AI slop or revamping old ideas.
God, I still contend I don't have a problem with remaking and rebooting franchises. They're just doing it to the wrong franchises. Remake things that should have done well, but you did wrong. So, my favorite go-to classic is Aragon. It's a dragon riding, fantasy book or book series. I can't remember. And they did one shitty movie, and everybody forgot that
And
the
it's
books movie was so
bailed
bad.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great series.
Who that?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. Yeah. That's another, this just popped in my head, but I mentioned the controversy for Terminator 1. It's just like Hunger Games always gets knocked for being a knockoff of Battle Royale.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, there's 7 stories or whatever,
Yeah. I mean, things get inspired by things all the time. And they take it. I just, that was another one that it just kind of reminded me of that popped in my head. But yeah, like you said, though, I really think the way to do it is remake something that could have been good or, better, or something that you could like modernize or tell in a different way. Like a good example is I think the Fright Night remake was pretty good. And I think the original was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Those are
true.
good movies,
Yeah.
Squeeze says Lord of the Rings trilogy holds up.
Yeah, because TJ had asked what movies actually hold up over time. And yeah, he's right. You get your T2 that we're talking about today, and you got Lord of the Rings trilogy. Those hold up. You've got the original trilogy, Star Wars. Mostly Empire and Return, though.
Yeah.
The first one
one's
hold up.
Not as much, but it's also just like a bunch of dudes with a camera and, trying to make it work.
Yeah. Bunch of dudes in the desert with a camera. Just be glad it's not gay porn.
It probably originally was.
The Star Warts. HPV Kenobi. Anyway, that's all I got. I don't know. I'll have a short list of movies that I will throw out a poll and have people vote on what we should do for the next episode in 2 weeks.
Sounds good. And thank you for having me again. This is fun. We'll have to find something else that'll be good to talk about. Something next time, though, maybe we'll find something that we can, something bad.
Something that we can actually like pick apart,
Yeah. Like we said, earlier, T2, it's just like, what you really can't say much bad about it. And there's not much to analyze.
Right. There's not, again, you nailed it right at the beginning. There's no depth to this movie to discuss.
Yeah. But we got an hour out of this, so hopefully it's at least entertaining for people.
We definitely did. All right.
And I'm not even drunk making it go for an hour.
Donner's giving me a migraine. So we are going to wrap up.
Let's do it.
And, everybody tune into Thor Effect Media on Saturday for his beer games and BGM, beer games and movies.
You got it. And
That's
sometimes music.
Sometimes music. BGM and...
Which, speaking of that, we saw Muse on Friday, which is really cool. I just want to mention that real quick.
Nice. That fits into sci-fi.
I know, that's what I figured. Really cool.
Muse counts as sci-fi. Yeah. All right. And then tune in on Monday for Big Dumb Monsters and see us in 2 weeks for the next Regrettable reviews.
See y'all later.